Even if you aren't familiar with the Oklahoma country singer and songwriter Toby Keith, you still most likely have heard this song of his.
I should have been a cowboy.
During his career so far, Keith has released 19 studio albums, 2 Christmas albums, and 5 compilation albums. He's charted 61 singles on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, which 20 of them scored number 1 and 21 made the top 10. Impressive. But I'm not here today to give you music stats. I'm Addison Hager, and I'm going to touch on 6 facts about the singer that you might not know, like which Toby Keith hit were record label execs worried to release, or where did Keith work before pursuing music, that kind of stuff. So hit that thumbs up button if you're ready and make sure that notifications bell is on, and let's dive in. Question number 1. Toby Keith had the most played country song of the 1990s. Which song was it? A. Should have been a cowboy. B. You ain't much fun. C. Upstairs downtown. Or D. Big old truck. It's A. Should have been a cowboy. I started off with an easy one since I kinda gave it away in the beginning, so hopefully this one was a no-brainer. It was released in February of 1993, reaching number 1 on the US Billboard Hot Country Songs and the Canadian RPM Country Tracks chart. Question number 2. Where did Toby Keith work before pursuing music full-time? A. Farmer. B. Oil field. C. Engineer. Or D. Car mechanic. B. Oil field. In 2009, Keith told our sister station The Boot more about his time working in the oil fields following his father's footsteps. Quote, "When I came out of high school and worked in the oil fields with my dad, there were 3 or 4 years the oil boom was going on, and I was in on the ground floor of a worldwide oil field service company that you could make millions of dollars at it. Getting to jump on it at 18 and having a dad that already gone up the ladder helped. He had worked his way up from the roughneck to mid-continent regional manager. I had the world set in front of me. I had all the private tech schools for the operation to go to, and 3 or 4 years in, just as I'm getting through the boot camp part of it and learning the ropes, the oil industry went away, and it would never come back like it was. That was devastating. All it does is make you appreciate when you do have it good. I went through it, and it makes me work harder." Question number 3. Young Toby Keith was a semi-pro football player. Which position did he play? A. Quarterback. B. Running back. C. Defensive end. Or D. Left offensive tackle. C. Defensive end. Before Keith had dreams about being a singer, he had the drive and passion to be a professional athlete. After he played in high school, he was headed to play for the Oklahoma Sooners in 1980, but actually went on to play for the semi-pro team, the Drillers. Yeah, the Drillers are a farm team for the US Football League's Oklahoma Outlaws. He also tried out for the Outlaws, but didn't make it. So between that and the oil business failing, it was time to pivot. And I'll say he turned out just fine with the pivot. Can you name another country artist that was an athlete before becoming a singer? Leave the artist in the comment section of this video. Okay, we're halfway through. How many have you gotten correct? Let us know in the comment section below. Now, do a quick stretch because we're jumping back in. Question number 4. Which Toby Keith hit were record label executives afraid to release? A. How Do You Like Me Now? B. Bullets in the Gun. C. Chucky's Gone. Or D. Beers Ago. A. How Do You Like Me Now?
How do you like me now?
So here's what happened. It was released in November 1999 as the second single and title track from his album of the same name. He had recorded it at the end of his contract with Mercury Records Nashville. In a Billboard interview in 2005, Keith noted that the label execs rejected all but 2 songs from the album. Essentially, after recording 2 more songs and getting those also rejected, Keith was out and asked to terminate his contract with Mercury, purchasing the rights to the rest of the album. When the album released, his lead single, When Love Fades, wasn't doing so hot. The singer asked if he could switch the single with How Do You Like Me Now? DreamWorks execs were scared to put it out, But within 5 days, they swapped it and How Do You Like Me Now got its chance. Question number 5. Where was Toby's first gig? A. Dive bar, B. Graduation, C. Parade, or D. Wedding? D. Wedding. Oh yes, can't you see Toby Keith being the ultimate wedding singer? And he got a cool $1,000 for playing it. The fresh out of high school Keith said it was, quote, easy money, according to Billboard, and the name for his band derives from that moment. We can almost imagine a young Keith looking down at the check, shaking his head in disbelief and excitement. Those days of making $1,000 per performance are long past him, but Keith's first big gig is forever immortalized in the Easy Money Band. Okay, last question we've got for you today. Question number 6. Who or what inspired Toby Keith's well-known song Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue? A. A story he once heard, B. His grandfather, C. His dad, or D. His cousin? C. His dad. While Keith wrote Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue after the September 11th attack, the inspiration for the song goes back to earlier in 2001 for Keith's father, who was a PFC or Private First Class in the Army, telling CMT, quote, "So I thought about my dad being the veteran he was and the flag-flying patriot he was. He did lose his right eye, he did come home, and he never did gripe about it. So that's the reason I wrote the song. For him." Sadly, Keith's father died in a vehicle accident in 2001. According to the Oklahoman, his father was on the way home from a childhood friend's barbecue. Quote, "His pickup crossed a median on Interstate 35 south of Norman and struck a tour bus. Koval, 67 of Moore, died at the scene from head and internal injuries." Keith wasn't convinced his dad just happened to cross too far over the median. Quote, "I hate to speculate, but I think he had a stroke. It was early part of the afternoon, time for him to cat around. Something happened to get him over the median. He was only going 35 miles per hour. He was too good a driver." Keith's family would go on to win a $2.8 million wrongful death lawsuit. According to CMT, quote, "A jury in McLean County, Oklahoma, concluded that the accident could have been avoided if the owners of the charter-like bus had replaced their brakes, after inspectors told them they urgently needed to be fixed." In an interview with Wide Open Country, we found out more of how the title came to be. Quote, "I wrote Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue on the back of a fantasy football sheet that was laying there. I just turned it and wrote around the edges and, in about 20 minutes, wrote the lyric out and called it The Angry American. When I turned it in, they said, well, it really doesn't say Angry American in there. Why don't you call it Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue?" So I did. Since his father's death, the singer has become a staple on USO tours, something encouraged by his father before he died. Telling Diamond Resorts, quote, "We were filling such a void I discovered while I was there. I said, well, hook me up next year. Next thing I know, we've been over there 2 weeks a year for 11 years playing well over 200 shows." How many did you get correct? Let us know in the comment section below, or let us know which fact you found your favorite. I'm Addison Hager for Taste of Country, and if you like these trivia videos, we've got more where this came from, so come on back and play again soon. Thanks for watching, and as always, thanks for subscribing.